Shut up! You don't think Ryan is famous?
Cousin Ryan.
You gotta...
Hey, what's up, YouTube friends and fam? It's Cousin Ryan, and I've got something I'm really excited about. Super Soakers, the traditional Super Soakers appear to be back. I just picked these up at Target the other day. Gosh, I don't even know where to start. So this is the Super Soaker XP 100 that looks very similar to the original 100, but I don't know if it's because I was smaller back then when we were kids, but it seems like more the size of a 50 with this extra little bottle on here. But maybe it's just because I've gotten bigger and it just seems smaller now. And I also picked up the XP 20. The Super Soaker 20 was one of my favorites as a kid just because it was like this cool little pistol grip and the pump was actually in the handle. These have been gone for quite a while. The most recent Super Soaker, it was just the pump. Every time you pumped it, it would squirt out. Dude, these are iconic for 90s childhood. Like, these revolutionized water fights as a kid, and it's super cool that they've brought them back and styled them to look like the originals. I'm gonna pop this one out of the container, or out of the box here, so we can take a closer look at it, and then we will go outside. Like, I remember the old ones when you buy them, the box always said, oh, shoots up to, you know, oh, there's one more here, up to so many feet. And where are we? Oh my gosh, they've got all these little ties hidden here. And I remember it would never go quite as far as the packaging claimed, but this box, sorry, I'm struggling a little bit here, there we go. This box, nowhere does it say there's any claim to how far this will shoot. However, we're gonna go out and try it out. This is a little bit different. The old ones had a screw-in bottle. This one's got like a quick disconnect. You just turn it just slightly and then it pulls out. Fill it up and tighten it back on there. So that's the 100. Let's go ahead and pop this one loose also. I even remember riding home in the car as a kid and like pumping them up, and then you can, I don't know, could you hear that? And it would blow the air out. This one appears to be, it's just a screw-in bottle like the old school ones. Okay, I've got a story about these. I mean, I remember the first time my buddy got one, we were just like blown away. I and my other friend were like, oh my god, that is the coolest thing, because it was like a constant stream. You didn't have to keep pulling the trigger. But my favorite Super Soaker story, and my dad would probably kill me if he knew I was talking about this, but since he doesn't watch our YouTube channel, I think we'll get by telling this story. I was probably, I think I was around 11 years old. We were camping at Calistoga Speedway for the sprint car races. I think it was World of Outlaws, and I was playing with some little friends with our squirt guns, and it was like a big deal. My dad had some friends from work. We all got camp spots there at the campground at the racetrack, and I and the kids of my dad's coworkers were hiding in the bushes at the back of our camp spot. Our camp spot backed up to a street, and we were shooting cars as they went by. Well, somebody called the cops, and we may or may not have shot at one of the cop cars with a Super Soaker, but anyway, the police officer pulled in. He talked to us, super cool. Don't do it again, you know, blah blah blah. And we ended up doing it again later. And then the dads got in on it, and my dad ended up shooting at a cop car, and the cop came flying in, pulled his gun on my dad, and was saying, drop your weapon, and it was a Super Soaker. Now, my dad obviously dropped it at the time. He didn't get arrested or anything. He got cited out. I forget what anyway, it was pretty ridiculous. Granted, we shouldn't have been doing that, but for a cop to pull his gun on a Super Soaker and yell, drop your weapon, was pretty ridiculous. Funny extra story to that particular police officer 2 years later was at a disturbance at the racetrack, and somebody jumped in his patrol car and took off in it and ended up crashing it into a pole. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. That's just my most entertaining Super Soaker story. Enough talking. Let's take these outside and try them out. All right, so I've marked this off here, 32 feet from the demolition derby car. This tape measure is 16 feet, and I measured 16 feet out, put a line in the dirt, and then went another 16 feet. I don't think it's gonna make it that far with the 20. These seem to have like a safety release too. If you put too much pressure into it, it starts to squirt out. But you can see, if we stand right here, it makes it a good, probably 18 feet. Now this one runs out pretty fast. I mean, obviously the tank's not that small, but it's already, I mean, there's a little bit in there, but not much. The other thing I've noticed with this one, there's a funky little gasket inside there that'll pop out, and it'll start spraying water out of the seal here. Sorry, I don't know if that was in frame or not. It'll start spraying water out of this seal, so if you just take the bottle off and reset that gasket, it should be fine. All right, so now for the big gun. We're gonna try and knock those cans off of the demolition derby car over there. All right, it says it takes 10 pumps. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see it's got a little bit of a safety release there like the other one did. Oh, not quite to the derby car. Let's get half again as close. Anyway, I'd say these live up to the hype of the old school Super Soakers. I don't care for the fact that you can't build up infinite pressure like you did with the old ones before it starts to release a little bit there. But anyway, these are very cool. Can't wait till Ryder's home later this summer and we can have an old-fashioned water fight. See you guys later.
You know, say it's cousin Ryan on the Hollywood Boulevard. You know, say he bigger than any superstar. All of us spit you some real dope bar. Some them sweeter than any chocolate bar. Boom!
Hey.